Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a pick-a-pile reading for your full moon in Sagittarius, which will be in 4 days from now. I believe that would land on Tuesday, so it's on June 14th. So we're still in Gemini season. We'll be talking about some astrology correspondences with crystals and the energies that you can work with during our Gemini season with the full moon in Sagittarius. And then I'll timestamp it below where the pile selection is for the pick-a-pile, so you can go ahead and skip to that part if you would rather go ahead and do that. So crystals that you can work with for Sagittarius season are Sodalite, which is this lovely blue crystal here, lapis lazuli. Sodalite and lapis lazuli are almost the same. The only difference is it's hard to really see it on camera, but with lapis, it has little bitty copper inflections, so you see like a tiny bit of a little bit of a gold sparkle to lapis. Sodalite is the same, but without the gold specks. Another stone that you can work with is carnelian, and also amethyst. Amethyst and sodalite work really well together for helping with sleep and also understanding your dreams better if you do dream. And then lapis lazuli is great for communication, but it's also linked to your third eye. So it's throat chakra and third eye, and one of the biggest parts about the throat chakra that people forget, besides expression and speaking your truth, it's also about listening and hearing what's not being said. A really great way to get in tune with hearing people and being more observant versus speaking is, instead of wearing the lapis lazuli at the throat, wear it as earrings. You could also combine the lapis lazuli on a necklace with amethyst earrings for getting in tune to the divine and also hearing what's not being said. Be careful though, one of the side effects of wearing a throat chakra stone is sometimes you say things that you really wish that you would have kept to yourself, and you can get yourself in trouble that way. But, I mean, if it needed to be said, it needed to be said. The truth is the truth. So we'll go ahead and talk about some of the qualities of Sagittarius. So that's about philosophy, travel, and because it's associated with Jupiter, it's also has to do with expansion and growth. You're growing, you're learning from experiences, you're gaining wisdom through travel, whether it's physically actually traveling to places, or just going to different parts of your mind and learning more about yourself. Those are just some basics, and with Gemini being the undertone, because it's the sun season of Gemini, that has to do with communication. So wisdom and communication are the hugest highlights of the season. So we'll go ahead and do our pick-a-pile. I'm gonna point the camera down so you can see them a little bit better. So for pile 1, we have carnelian, pile 2, we have amethyst, and pile 3, we have some sodalite. I'll give you a minute to take a look at the different crystals and whichever one you're drawn to the most. And if you're tied between a crystal and the artwork on a specific deck, you can always look at both reads and see which one makes sense for you the most. So I'll give you a minute to take your pick here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start with pile 1. Just gonna set the other cards to the side here. Alright, so for pile 1, if you chose the carnelian, we have that with the radiant deck. I just love the artwork on these cards. It's amazing. And they shuffle really nice too, nice and smooth. Alright, so we'll get a few shuffles here, and something called to me that these reads are going to be more love life related. If something else comes up, I'll throw that into the mix, but I'm thinking that it's more about a person that's on your mind. And if you don't have anyone in mind, or, you know, you don't really have any questions regarding your love life, this may or may not be for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Couple of cards came out of the deck here. So we have the Sun, and we also have the Page of Wands. That gives me the impression that the person on your mind may be a fire sign. So that would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. They could also have it somewhere significant in their chart. If they're not a sun sign of those three, it could be Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Or you could be a fire sign or have it somewhere significant in your chart, and after all, it does go with the Sun that's on the deck. I'm thinking specifically Leo, but it could be any fire sign. And it doesn't have to be. The signs are just extra verification that it's the person that you're thinking of or yourself, but the storyline is the important part of what matches. Alright, so we'll get 3 more shuffles here. Alright, for overall energy at the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Cups. That's the card that's about walking away. So there was most likely a separation, or you're thinking about separating from this person. You may have recently gone through a breakup, whether they walked away from you or you walked away from them. And we have the Chariot card that's underneath it. You're having a hard time moving on from this situation. And what is it that's blocking you, or blocking this connection from working out? We'll see what the cards say. So we've got the 3 of Wands, followed by the 5 of Wands in reverse. It's almost like you're waiting for the fighting to be over. You're thinking about walking away, and you're waiting to see if you can resolve the conflict. That sounds pretty general, though, so sounds like it could really be anything. The 3 of Wands is about waiting for something, like you're waiting on your ships to come in, and the 5 of Wands is about conflict, but since it's in reverse, you know, it's like conflict may be ended, and now you're waiting for what happens next, where things are gonna go. It also has to do with energy being very scattered. And what are your fears and goals? Interesting. So you've got the 9 of Swords, but it's in the reverse. That's about anxiety. You can't sleep at night. This is really bothering you. You're being very anxious. You just want the anxiety of the whole thing to be over. You just want peace. And we've got the Strength card. That's also a verification that you could be a Leo or have it somewhere significant in your chart, or the person you're thinking about does. And also it's reminding you that you are strong enough to overcome this. And what happened in the far past that may have been the basis for your mindset, or maybe their mindset. So we've got 2 Pentacle cards. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the 7 of Pentacles reversed. Maybe you're more responsible with money than they are, or that's how it's always been. Maybe you have been taken advantage of financially. Like, maybe you feel like they're not pulling their weight in this connection when it comes to matters regarding adulting, like paying bills, paying rent, you know, taking care of responsibilities together. Or maybe that's how you or them were treated in the past, and one of you or both of you is defensive because someone shit on you as far as finances go. Like, you got taken advantage of, or maybe they did, and you're afraid that they're gonna do it to you too, or they're afraid that you'll do it to them. You'll know what I'm talking about. You know your situation better than I do. I always say that. I mean, duh, of course you know your situation better than I do. So, you know, I'm sure it's clicking somehow if this is your read. And what just happened? Ooh, okay. So somebody hit rock bottom and went into hermit mode in an unhealthy way. Could be you, could be them. You'll know what I'm talking about. And one of you or both of you is taking the other's actions real personally. And what's gonna happen here in the near future? So we've got the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Maybe one of you or both of you, something changed financially in a negative way. I feel like someone lost their job. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles, and you can't decide which way you want to go. And the one of you that may be working and the other one that's not, or someone is on top of things financially more, that person is feeling burnt out. Whether it's you or them, you'll know if it's your story. How do you feel about yourself right now? Oh, so we've got the Queen of Cups clarified by the Queen of Swords, which sounds contradictory. But I think what it is, you know, you're the Queen of Cups, you have emotions for this person, your heart is with this person, but you feel like you're getting stepped on, so now you're being the Queen of Swords, where you're like, no, you're gonna speak to me with respect. You're not gonna do this to me. I'm not gonna open up and be all lovey-dovey with you if you're just gonna take advantage of it. You're clear in your communication. Maybe you put your foot down recently. And how does this person view you? We've got the Emperor in the reverse. And we've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. The nerve. So I think that person is the Emperor in reverse, but it's projection, so they're trying to make it look like you're the manipulator when they are. The truth speaks for itself. You don't even have to say anything to anyone. The actions and the situation shows for, you know, it shows what's going on. You know, you're just worried about working on yourself. And then we've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, so upright, it means being the master of your craft. So somebody's maybe sacrificing being the best them that they can be, and it's interfering with your focus on maybe work or school. Well, yeah, because you're being run into the ground, you're being run thin, because you're pulling all the weight, you're holding the place up. You're pressing on the leak in the ship that sprung a leak, and you can only sit there and hold on to it for so long, you're gonna probably end up walking away from this. Let go of that frickin' leak, let the boat fill up, let it go down. You know, you might have to swim to shore by yourself, but you still have the moon. Hope that there's not any sharks in there, but it's like, you can't hold on to it forever. You're gonna have to let go and the ship's gonna go down anyway, so work on your game plan from swimming away from this bullshit. If this is your story anyhow. What actions does this person plan on taking? Or what actions will they take, if any, because it looks like they're filled with a lot of inaction. We've got the Nine of Pentacles reverse and the Three of Pentacles reverse. The financial cycle with them is not going to change. Whether they have a good heart or not, you know, that's what matters, is the soul connection and what's in their heart. However, you still need to eat and rent is still due. And if you're doing this all by yourself and they're not putting the effort forth, you're gonna get exhausted and burn yourself out, so you have to decide. What you have to think about is, can I live the rest of my life like this? If I knew that there was no way that this person was gonna get, whether it be a job or maybe they have a job, but they're just being irresponsible with their money. However this person is being right now in this exact moment, not their potential that you're looking at, but what they're being right now. Think to yourself, can I live the rest of my life like this? And if you can, great. Stick around where you're at, but I don't think that that's what you want. And if it isn't what you want, then you have to set some goals in your mind of, you know, if you're gonna give them a chance to fix this, what are your, boundaries? How long are you gonna give it before you say, okay, I'm gonna give this person X amount of time, and if they don't bring to the table what we need for this relationship to survive, when am I gonna walk away? And then you have to think about the game plan of how to do it and actually do it. And don't tell them how long you're gonna give them. Don't tell them your goals that are in your head about it, because they have to do it on their own anyways, not because you gave them an ultimatum. Give them an ultimatum, or, let them know how you're thinking and feeling to give them the chance to fix it. But I mean, there's no way that they don't know that this is detrimental if they're not contributing to their part of things. So I hope this reading made sense for you. Well, so that's I believe that was what actions are they gonna take. So what's the outcome here? What outcome do we have for pile 1? So we've got the 8 of Wands, so there is going to be a conversation that's going to happen, and we've got the Temperance in the reverse. I'm not going to lie, there's probably going to be an argument, and, obviously try to be as peaceful as possible, yet clear and concise, and if it turns into an argument because they don't want to meet you halfway, then so be it. That's on them, and that's their own fault. See if there's any other cards I can pull, extras that might make sense here. I think this person also is a bit immature and has a little bit of a temper and anger problem, and they don't like change. They don't want to change. I don't see them changing their ways. Honestly, I don't. And don't take the cards literally. It just helps give you hints to move you in the right direction. And I'm not gonna sit here and give you, like, false, happy, fluffy-duffy crap when it's not the truth. So if you're in a relationship and you're perfectly happy and everything is all hunky-dory, then don't worry about it. It's not your story. But if this, hits close to home, they're just verification, and it's still your choice what you choose to do about it. I could be wrong. The cards could be wrong. You can't take it all literal, it just gives clues, and you do what you think is best for you. And I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Yeah, easy to say, because I just gave you all this bad news. This could also be talking about a past relationship that you came out of, and you're trying to grow from it. Well, so we will go ahead and move on to pile 2. So if you chose pile 2 with the Amethyst and the Ethereal Illuminated deck, this is your reading. We'll get a few shuffles here and see what's going on for pile 2. Whew, pile 1's reading was very heavy, so I just had to take a deep breath there. Alright, pile 2, so overall energy at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. Ooh, new beginnings and passionate and creativity. Maybe you're starting some creative projects, you've got some new ideas, or someone has the hots for you. Probably all of the above, because you're in your own world doing your own thing, and somebody sees that. And we've got the Seven of Cups reversed. There was some major confusion that you were having about somebody, and I feel like maybe you got some clarity and you're a little bit less confused. which is a good thing. So what's blocking you or crossing you, or this connection here? So I think one of you or both of you just came out of hitting rock bottom and you've been working your way back up. And then we've got the Nine of Cups reversed. So one of you just got out of a relationship, and one of you or both of you, you know, you were really hurt by it, but you've really made some big strides in healing from it recently. And I think, even though this is a love reading, I think one of your fears or possibly goals, you're working on your financial situation. You might be looking for a new job or looking to get a promotion at the job where you're at. And you're afraid that this person, you're afraid of them being really closed off. Like, maybe you feel like they don't express themselves. It's like you can feel their energy, and you swear you can feel it, and you can literally feel how they feel about you, but they're not speaking on it. And it's a very odd combination. Like, the way that they act towards you, the way that they look at you, you swear you can feel their vibe, like they're attracted to you, but they're not saying anything, at least not yet. So what happened in the past here that might have led up to this? Temperance in the reverse. That's weird, because that came up in the last pile's reading. And the Seven of Swords. I'm thinking that maybe some kind of a, not really a huge argument, but like a kind of little mini spat. Like maybe you guys were joking around, but trying to express something that was bothering you, but in a very joking manner to keep the mood light so that you don't fight. And I think they actually listened to you, whatever it was that you said or you implied. I think they actually thought about it and they're working on it. And this was quite a while back, so it took a minute to sink in. This card keeps coming up, the Hermit reversed. It came up in the last reading, it came up in a couple of my last videos. Five of Swords reversed with the Hermit reversed. So there was conflict, and you or them went into Hermit mode. But it started to, you know, become where it was a little bit too distant. What's gonna happen in the very near future? I think you might separate, or, you know, maybe you're not actually with this person in the first place, you know, but you talk regularly. And I see one of you or both of you grieving about the loss of something. One of you, maybe you're distant because something recently happened in your life or their life. Like, maybe they lost a loved one close to them, a friendship ended, something happened where one of you had some kind of loss going on. And then we've got the Fool card, which is new beginnings. Interesting. And how do you feel about yourself in this connection? Two of Pentacles in the reversed, followed by the Six of Cups in the reversed. I think that you're stuck between two choices because you are having a hard time letting somebody go that's from your past and possibly entertaining this new person. So you're stuck between either an ex-lover or maybe somebody that you recently had feelings for, whether you were together or not, and then you've got this new person coming in and they check all the boxes, but you're maybe not feeling that spark yet, but they feel that spark for you. Yours might come later, possibly. Is this person even right for you, though? Just because they're new and coming in and they're not the ex that may have been toxic, it doesn't mean that they're automatically good. Like, it might be better to not choose either of them. You never know. Like, you don't have to choose somebody just for the sake of being with someone. It's okay to choose neither and be alone if you have to. We've got the Four of Swords in the reverse, followed by the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So I think that they are trapped, or this is how they view you now. So they view you as being trapped or stuck in a situation, and that they think that you're not communicating. And if that doesn't make sense and it's not your story, you know, take what resonates and leave the rest, of course. And what action does this person plan on taking? Oh boy, so we've got the Queen of Swords reversed, followed by the Eight of Wands in the reverse. They're gonna be closed off, and you're not gonna either hear from this person for a long time, or when you do hear from them, you're not gonna talk about the elephant in the room like you're hoping that you do. I mean, you can choose to bring it up if you want to, but if you decide to stay silent hoping that they're gonna bring it up, they won't. Not anytime soon. And as far as the outcome goes, we've got the Emperor followed by the Page of Wands. So I think that maybe this person, maybe they have a little bit of growing up to do. I feel like there's going to be a life event that's going to happen with this person over the summer that might humble them or grow them up some, and then maybe you'll have a conversation and things will be a little bit better there. Yeah, I think that there's two people that you're having a hard time deciding between, and just because one of them is definitely toxic doesn't mean that the new one is necessarily good. I'm gonna pull some more cards because I feel like there's more to this. So we've got the Judgment in the reverse, followed by the Three of Swords. So Three of Swords usually talks about dealing with a third-party situation, which could be you, because like I just said, if you're stuck between deciding between two people, it could be talking about you, or it doesn't have to be another human being. It could be an addiction. It could be maybe their work-life balance is out of whack and they're being a workaholic and choosing working too much over spending time with you. Or maybe they like to hang out with their friends, but you would rather see them more. Like, there's some kind of thing that you feel that they're prioritizing over you, and it's bothering you and making you real irritated. What else can it tell me? Nine of Wands followed by the Knight of Wands in reverse. I feel like you're gonna get over this. You might get closure later, but by the time they have that conversation, you might not even care anymore. And the Two of Cups in the reversed. Yeah, I don't really think that you're gonna come together with this person. And we have the Star, followed by the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you might meet another person around August or September, is the feeling I have. August or September, I think you're gonna meet somebody new, and that person might be your person. And I feel like they may have air or fire placements, possibly. I can't be for sure on that, but I feel like air and fire are their main dominant qualities. Yeah, so I don't think that your person is your ex, or the one that you are recently getting over, whether you were actually in a relationship with them or not. I don't think this new person that you're talking to is them either, but I think that there's another new person that you're gonna meet, and they might be your person. And I see, like, you're on a patio somewhere, like, eating at a restaurant outdoors, and I see, like, red flowers. like, not, I mean, they could be giving you red flowers, but, like, the decorations or maybe the landscaping around the area, I see red flowers there, and, like, there's a nice breeze coming through. It may be near water, possibly. I'm not positive on the water, but I feel like you're gonna meet your person or go with them somewhere that's outside. You're eating food, it's sunny out, there's a nice breeze, and I see red flowers, so look for that, and if you happen to see that, for goodness sakes, let me know, so I'll know that I'm on point, and, you know, that's extra verification that that's your person. Well, pile 2, sorry that a lot of it was, you know, bad news, but I don't want to feed you a load of BS and tell you something's all fine and hunky-dory when it's not. I mean, if you're happy with the person or you're happy in a relationship, don't take me or the cards literally. You know your life better than I would. So take what makes sense and leave the rest. So we'll go ahead on to pile 3 now. Alright, for pile 3, if you chose the Sodalite with the Light Seers deck, this is your reading. We'll get a few shuffles here and see what's going on for pile 3. A couple of cards came out of the deck. We've got the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and we have the Knight of Cups. They could have fire and water in their chart, in their significant areas like Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. They might have a lot of fire and water dominance in there. It doesn't have to be, though. The storyline trumps anything as far as astrology goes, and as far as what's fire and water with the elements. Fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Water is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And if it's not their sun sign based on their birthday, if you know what year they were born, and even better yet, what time, you can look up their sun, their moon, rising, or Venus, and you might see a lot of fire and water in there if you don't see it in their initial sun sign. And I'm laughing at myself because for pile 2's reading, I had mentioned red flowers, and there's red flowers right behind me. I was talking about a setting of where they may be when a certain event happens, and I mentioned the flowers, and, well, maybe that's why they were in my head, who knows? Alright, pile 3, so overall energy at the bottom of the deck, we've got the 4 of Cups in the reverse. So someone might be viewing you as a missed opportunity. And then we've got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse following that for clarification. I think maybe somebody was acting like a spoiled brat, probably them. And maybe they grew up a little bit and they got some kind of reality check. And they're realizing that they maybe took you for granted in some way, as far as the person on your mind goes. And what's blocking this connection, or what's blocking you? 2 of Wands in the reverse, followed by the 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups came up in the last reading, so I think maybe this person was indecisive, and one of you just got over some kind of loss. Possibly a lost loved one. Maybe, you know, it could be a lost job, friendships that fizzled, You'll know what I'm talking about more than I would. And then, what are your fears or goals, depending on how the cards come up regarding this? So we've got the King of Pentacles in the reversed, followed by the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So you wish that they would communicate more and not be so money-focused. Yes, it's great to be responsible and good with finances and goal-oriented, but you wish that they would show a little bit more emotion. You know, it's almost like you feel like they're being too logical, and you wish that they would think with their heart a little bit more instead of just with their mind, or at least balance the two. Or maybe you're afraid of that's how they're gonna end up being, like, you're afraid that they won't open up to you. Well, no shit, they must not be opening up to you, because if you're looking at a tarot reading about them, there's something missing in the communication. Or it could be fairly new, not saying it's a bad thing, there's nothing wrong with a little extra boost of guidance. But if you have to get answers from the cards more than you're getting answers from the actual person, then you're not communicating enough with each other, or it's new and you just don't know yet, and you haven't had that conversation yet. And what happened in the distant, what happened in the distant past? That is just so weird that it's following the same suits. So with goals and fears, so we've got the King of Pentacles right next to, you just got the Page of Pentacles for distant past, King of Swords next to the Knight of Swords. That is just insane. So you feel like you're afraid that this person isn't gonna grow up, is what it is. You're afraid that they're not gonna grow up, and you're afraid that they're not gonna express themselves. That is the weirdest thing ever. The Knight of Swords and the King of Swords being next to each other, with the King and Page of Pentacles being next to each other. That's interesting. It could also mean that you're an earth sign, or you're dealing with an earth sign with all the Pentacles energy. And what happened recently? Someone was contemplating leaving this connection, but had a hard time walking away. And then we've got the Three of Swords in the reverse. Like, maybe somebody feels betrayed, or maybe you feel like that person is picking work and money and logic over their heart. Maybe that's how you feel about what's going on. What's gonna happen in the very near future here? The Moon in the reverse, followed by the King of Cups in the reverse. Oh, yeah, I think that they're gonna close up emotionally even more if you try to pry. Which is hard, because you have to tell them, hey, like, I want to know this, I want to know that, let's have a conversation about such and such. Because you want to know these things to get them to open up, but I feel like with this person, the more that you try to open it up with them, the more that they retreat and they hide. The Moon in the reverse, they hide things from you, or they cover stuff up, they might be being deceitful. And the King of Cups in the reverse, that's like emotional immaturity, or unwillingness to open up. And then, so how do you feel about yourself regarding this connection? We've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. But then we've got the Ten of Cups. So, you want the Ten of Cups with this person, you want to come together with them, and you view them as your if I could talk today, happily ever after. And you've got it on your mind so much, and you're just in la-la land about this person, where it might be distracting you from work or school. And then, how does this person view you? The Nine of Swords, they see that you have anxiety over it and justice. So they are aware of the fact that you're a better communicator than them, and they see that you have anxiety over this. They know that this is hurting you. Trying to figure out what that would mean with the Justice card with that. I mean, they see you as a very fair and honest person, and they know that you're a better communicator than they are. They definitely know this. And what action? I feel like I need to know more about how they view you, so I'm going to pull a couple more. Queen of Swords. They see that you've had enough. They know that you've had enough, and they know that you're at your edge and you're about to snap. Not necessarily snap, but you're gonna tell them like it is. And the Five of Wands in the reverse, so you're feeling very scattered right now, and you feel like you're putting more into this than they are, and they know it. And what action does this person plan on taking? The High Priestess. Followed by the Ace of Pentacles. They're going to be more quiet about their goals. I mean, the Ace of Pentacles is about growth and new beginning and nurturing something, but Pentacles is also about the material part of the aspects of life, like work and money. Or maybe, I'm almost thinking they might get a new job, or you might. Like, maybe work is stressing one of you or both of you out. I mean, who isn't stressed out from work from time to time? But it's getting to the point where maybe one of you or both of you is leaving your job, and maybe with a new job, possibly, it might reduce a little bit of the stress. But that's the thing, though. It's like the connection has to be strong enough where you're still strong as a couple, or a connection, regardless of what outside stuff is going on, because you're supposed to, besides supporting your own self, you're supposed to be each other's support team. So maybe that's what it might be. Maybe they're in the process of changing jobs, or there's something being reevaluated from a material standpoint. And what's the outcome here? Five of Swords, followed by the Page of Swords. Yeah, just like the guy in the picture is holding his head and the Five of Swords is about conflict, this connection's giving you a headache. And you're just you're doing your research, trying to figure out, weighing it out, do you want to stay or not? Because if they're not opening up to you and it's not going anywhere. Followed by, I felt like there needed to be more for outcome, followed by the Chariot, and the Strength in the reverse. Temperance. So if this connection is to work out and communication is opened up, and you have a heart-to-heart with them and things do get better, I feel like something major is going to... Because I'm getting the Chariot and the Strength card right next to each other and a timeline popped into my head. I feel like July or August, probably during Leo season, you're going to come to a resolution with them. So that might be your breaking point where you decide, do I want to work on this connection or not? That conversation is going to happen. I'm thinking specifically in July, but it could be August. But I'm thinking July more. And then I just got the Lovers in the reverse. You might decide to walk away from them. And we've got the Star in the reverse. Yeah, I think you're gonna end up walking away. Two of Pentacles, so you might have more Two of Pentacles in the reverse. You might have more options coming in, though. Followed by the Wheel in the reverse, which that has to do with resisting change. I think you'll have plenty of options. I think you do have plenty of options right now. But I think that you're so focused on this person that the other options don't even matter right now. So by the time, you know, if you do end up deciding to leave this connection, you'll have a new set of options. You won't, you know, I don't think that you're gonna be alone for very long. Oh, and we did get the Four of Wands. That's the victory card, the 1111, the Make-A-Wish card. I mean, it could work out with this person. I hope for your sake, if it's what you really want, that it does. But communication needs to happen, you know, and pay close attention to their actions and definitely their patterns. And we have the Empress in the reverse. You might be emotionally more mature than they are. Well, so that concludes my pick-a-pile readings for the full moon in Sagittarius. I hope you hope a good weekend. No, I hope you have a happy rest of your weekend, and any readings that brought what may be perceived as bad news, just know that any bad news, it's not bad forever. There's always hope. There's always going to be something good in the end. It's just that in the moment, if it's not working, you just have to get through it to get yourself to the other side. Well, I wish you all peace, love, and happiness, and I hope you have a good weekend and enjoy the full moon in Sagittarius on the 14th. Bye!